it seems this digital ID conversation will rumble on all the way to 2029. To me, as a UK citizen, I've been hearing, obviously, and I'm sure you guys have been hearing all these assessments about this digital ID and what it will do. It doesn't seem that it's for what it claims it is, because a lot of the reasons and a lot of the assessments don't seem like it's for immigration control, doesn't seem it's for crime, fraud, prevention. Seems it's like it's just for control. Controlling how you move, how you live, and how you do things. Because some of the instances of it, and you hear a lot of the conversation about it within, Parliament over the last couple of months. And a lot of it is not making clarity the clear sort of objective. It's not making any kind of assessment that says this is what it's going to be for, and this is the benefit in terms of preventing illegal immigration, because illegal immigration can be prevented in so many other ways. And obviously having people working illegally, you think people that come in illegally are not just going to still go under the radar, get cash in hand jobs, and do what they do? Who said digital ID is going to be for them? Who said that that's what they're going to be thinking of doing? That's not what, people who are coming across the border are thinking. That it's going to be able to just, go under the radar, get cash in hand jobs, and do what they have to do. So a lot of the things that we hear governments saying over the years have not, in my opinion, transpired to be consistent and also be, truthful a lot of the time. Once you've got information in one place, you can collate the information of every person. You can then, as time goes on, it probably won't happen there and then once the implementation happens. But it's possible that it can then obviously have an effect of control. So now you can actually see every digital footprint in one consolidated environment. This is something that obviously ex-Prime Minister wanted, Tony Blair. And obviously he's got a close friendship with the Oracle CEO. So we know in terms of data, what that can, do for, a money-making sort of scheme, if you call it that. Because I don't see the benefit in terms of preventing illegal immigration, crime, and having easier usage of services. These are all things that can be done in different ways. If you believe that those are issues, it looks like it wants to have the ability to easily manage and control as time goes on. Tying it to jobs is another thing. Trying to make livelihoods be a reason as to why you can gain some form of control. People, and generally people will be thinking, okay, my job or a job is at risk because obviously I don't have one, especially if you're going for a new position. I'm going to need such and such, this digital ID to be able to, apply for a job and work in the UK. So now they're using that fear sort of tactic of, my position could be at risk. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do, the typical way people think and say, okay, this is the way we're going to try and gain the control to get people to sign up for it. The reason why I think this is weird in terms of this whole digital ID is because it is not showing, based on what the issues they claim is for, it's not showing how that is clearly going to prevent issues in the UK. It's not clearly stating it. They're not being clear. And I think they're making, in my opinion, people who know better look a little silly. They're trying to make the people who know better look silly. The cost of this 1.8 billion to maintain and roll out this operation is crazy. 1.8 billion. This, to me, also doesn't show that the government are working in relation to the general population. It's always, it seems, been, this is what we think, and this is what it's going to be. We think of something, we put it in there. We put it in, in the law. So for me, I don't see the clarity in it, and that's why it looks like it's for control based on Once you can consolidate information in one spot, you are able to then do things that says this is what you can and can't do. Imagine being able to, maneuver freely for all these years if you've been living a certain amount of time, and then maybe down the line, oh, you can't spend on that because you've gone over a certain limit. Oh, you can't eat these kinds of foods because you have, you're doing something wrong for the environment, or you can't maybe travel here because you're going to go over your limit of spending for the month, for example, or you spend a certain amount. We've seen over the history of this time period, you've done such and such, so you can't move now. That's potentially a possibility. So I look at it and I think to myself, none of this stuff was voted for. None of this was in the Labour manifesto. And you look at it and say, why? Where has this come from? Where has this come from? Why? People may say, oh, but you've already got information online. If you're online, people have, information of you. Yes, but not in one consolidated environment where it's easy to make decisions on how you move. Yes, you can say we are online, but at the same time, to have one clear environment where you can just a few buttons click and find out exactly what you need to find out. And then, for example, even if they have this information, let's just say you have, the possibility they think of you doing something that you're not supposed to, and then they get that information wrong. What issues that can have on you in terms of the potential that they think, oh, you've done something. They can just stop your whole life there and then. Potentially, as time goes on, that can be a thing. The sort of inconvenience, the sort of potential data breaches, potentially selling of data, loss of data, all of these things you cannot prove. They have not proved as to why the system will not have these deficiencies. So I'm a person that want to come and go as he pleases. If I'm a law-abiding UK citizen, I should be able to come and go as I please, but not have somebody saying, okay, this is what you can and can't do, potentially. So it even ties into the Child Safety Act as well. Parents need to parent their children. We don't need the state saying, these are the things that you need to be doing, and this is how you should be, preventing potentially. This is how we should be preventing things to happen against children. No, this is something that parents do. There's parental locks on phones, on being able to have certain websites only viewed. There's those kinds of things. You can mitigate things in that regard. Parental controls, location disabling. If you really are for the children, change the curriculum in schools. Make the curriculum learn about online safety. Let children learn, let teachers teach that, and let that be a curriculum. So every time there's new threats online, security threats, whatever, they're always up to date. In each year, they're always up to date. So let that be a curriculum if it's really something that is important. Let parents be empowered. Let children be empowered of the learning that they will be required to have as well. But I look at these things and I just think it starts off in a small sort of way, and then it starts potentially getting bigger in terms of the sort of ways they want to move and make this be a thing, So talking about even potentially having children, newborns having chips in them, like stuff like that is crazy. Are we in a democracy or not? If it's not, make it clear. If you want to say, look, we want to control you because of X, Y, and Z. If that was the case, that would be something that at least we'll be like, oh, so now you're being clear. Now you're saying it as it is. I've seen enough to say, particularly my migration issue, it's not clear. Particularly anything that prevents crime and fraud, that's not clear. There's police for a reason. There's MI5 for a reason. There's intelligence, all these things for a reason. So improve that. You want to improve services and how people can go within the government and get to government services? Improve those things. Child safety. There's ways that parents can parent their children. Open communication, parental locks, location disabling, change the curriculums in schools. Make it be an emergency. Make it be an immediate thing that is implemented if it's for that. But if it's not, make it very clear, because none of this stuff I'm seeing is clear. You go back to COVID. You go back to the times when we were on lockdown. That was, for me, the start of showing that, hey, this is how we want you guys to fall in line. That was the start. I think in generations past, and just in generations, in general, I think we're the type that we fall in line a lot. When things happen, we don't question it enough in the UK. We don't ask why. And we don't come in a unified way and say, did we even want this? Do we want what you are providing? The state don't need to do it, but they would want to do it. The state should be saying, this is the way people can live. As long as you're abiding by what's required to abide by in the country, live freely. But not trying to mitigate in ways where they believe they're doing something beneficial. For example, in relation to the Child Safety Act. Let parents parent. Let governments maneuver in ways that are for the general public and for the people. And let people do what they have to do. Maneuver freely. There's been so many signatures. Nearly 3 million have signed up to say, you know what, I'm not feeling this. I'm not wanting this. So they see there's a form of potential issues going down the line with it. Security issues and just control issues. But people who do believe it's okay, because they will say there's digital ID in other countries, I don't think they believe anything is potentially a problem in the UK going forward with it. Maybe because they're not informed enough, or we're just in that fall in line sort of way of living. We've always been like that, it seems. Different generations, we just fall in line. We make a bit of noise, a bit, here and there, and then we just get back to our daily routines. The minute we become more unified as people and we question things and we ask for clarity and we ask why, that's when we can maybe get somewhere. But government, I've not seen that over the years. They say one thing and a lot of the time do another. But it'll be interesting to find out what people think. And yes, let's hold the line. The people that don't want to be controlled, let's hold the line and let's hear what they do over these next, coming years.